Hello and welcome to
Wait.
episode 49 of the Value of Talent podcast. I'm your host, Harry Trades, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, who's always late, unfortunately, Federico. How are we doing?
Uh, yes, I'm always good. I'm always late and always good. So that's a coincidence, maybe. Maybe it's a pairing. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
looking forward.
Yes, you're the yin to my yang, Feder, apparently.
That's true. Wait, I have to close my window because I got rushed everything, so I have to do that
That's
one.
fine. That's fine. Feder actually was probably 5 minutes earlier than I expected, lads. So give him props for that. Raul was first in the building. Kerry, what's going on, lads?
Let's
Tom,
go.
Ryan, appreciate you all being here. Alex Coombs as well. Yeah, lads, episode 49 today, and we're here to discuss the,
Yeah.
apparent situation that we have on our hands, Feder, that, has caused us all to frantically swap our galleries around, buy new season cards, sell old season cards. And you know what? I think we just need a podcast episode dedicated to, what are we going to do going forward? Or, what should people do going forward in certain situations? And that is what we're going to discuss. Myself situation, yourself situation, and, obviously chat as well. We can kind of, give advice maybe where we can. And yeah, kind of just talk through the update as it goes as well. Obviously, we're what are we a week? No, is it less than a week? It's more than a week, isn't it? Yeah, it's way more than a week. It would be 2 weeks
More.
this
It's
week, right?
more.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's like 2 weeks now. Yes.
Yeah, it's just under 2 weeks, I think. So, yeah, I mean,
No. No. Wait. I think
what was it?
it wasn't last week. I think it was last week. No, 2 weeks. Could
It
be
must
two
be two
weeks.
weeks. Sorry, lads.
Yeah,
These last couple of weeks have just been an absolute whirlwind. Ever since we
yeah.
had the update, it's just been mad, hasn't it? But Fed, I guess this is the first time I've spoken to you since not
The update. Yes,
since the update. But no, we had the MLS pod last week, which was great. If you haven't checked it out,
exact.
please do. That was great, but we didn't talk. We didn't talk Sorare update strategies, etc., etc. So
No.
yeah, let's dedicate this next hour then to all that. And I think just from a starting perspective, then I haven't spoken to you about it since you were live with me the day it dropped. Like, what are we thinking, Feder? Be honest with me. Like, how are you thinking?
So brutally honest, me personally, I digested it. And now I'm personally made my peace with it. To be honest,
Hmm.
um, I wasn't the biggest fan at the beginning. Am not the biggest fan. I see the necessity of doing it, though. I see why they have to do it and why they have to move forward, because what they did before didn't work. In my opinion, there were other tweaks that could have been done before this completely radical change, but it is what it is. You have to adapt or you die. This new period until August is going to be tough, so that's going to be really tough, especially I think for super rare prices, because people can't really understand where to price them and how to price them now, especially if your super rares are not that great. Like if they used to be lower level threshold players that have a L15 of 42, 44, something like that.
Hmm.
So they had a decent value before, now not so much anymore. But I do think it's gonna be loads of more fun, to be honest. And I actually made my peace with it, and I'm actually looking forward now to playing it, to be completely honest. And I think it's gonna be fun, especially if you have like 3 divisions and 3 teams per division. I think the divisions they messed up a bit. Like I hate, for example, that the Americans are not together, because okay, I understand that the Colombian league might be worse, but just keep the MLS, the Mexican league, and the Brazilian and the Argentinian league on one pair, because in my opinion they are equal to all of that, and it's for me, especially, and for a lot of other American players, that's gonna be a big mess to clean up and do whatever it takes. For me, gradually, not as much, because I have a bigger gallery. I can sustain playing both contenders and challengers, but it's gonna be interesting in a way. Um, but as I said, I think if you actually love playing so rare, then this new update is going to be immense for you and people will love it. And I actually think you can even do better ROI wise and fun wise than with the old update. Like, not even lying, I'm 100% sure of that. The only thing I'm a bit skeptical of, like a big pull for new users, was the threshold. So that new users come in and they start with the threshold, then fell in love with the game, and then played the game and started buying crazy shit galleries or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a big pull. I just hope they have a solution for that, where they want to get all the new users in, because that was basically the marketing tool, or at least the word of mouth marketing tool. That, okay, yeah, you can do that. £50, £50, £50. You can maybe get £200 a week, a month. You're never gonna make that, but at least in your head, you dream about making it. So that was a big pull. I'm just curious how to do it. But if all these funds, and apparently they are reverted into competitions, it's gonna be bloody awesome. And that's what we wanted from the first place, anyways. And I also don't have a big problem that these classic comps. I think the classic comps is like everybody's overhyping them or over panicking in a way. Like,
Like saying
just,
the old season cards are dead,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this, just chill the fuck out, like, for real. I'm sorry for the word, but
No, no.
when you still play the freaking classic and win those new cards, and
Mhm.
then or even the podiums are still have cash, like nothing changed there basically. And I think it's gonna be actually even easier to win something there, because new cards, or at least it's not going to be harder. New cards are probably going to be played in season mostly, or even very good if a gallery just has one Kimmich, for example, because not many galleries can afford multiple Kimmichs.
Mhm.
He's probably gonna buy 4 other new in-season cards and play the old in-season Kimmich, for example. So that Kimmich is gone from the classic tournaments,
Fair
where he
point.
can
Yeah.
actually and so that's gonna be huge, and the prices are big still, and you win 4 divisions, right? Or you have 5 divisions, right? 5
I
divisions.
think it depends on how many users, but yeah, I think roughly, yeah, maybe 4 or 5 divisions. I think.
Exactly.
I don't know. Are they gonna, if more and more users come in? Well, no, because I guess it's a percentage base, isn't it? It's not
Yeah,
like
it's
a
percentage
number of.
bet. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
percentage.
Okay. Maybe there is a fixed amount of divisions then. Yeah.
So that's great, and it's gonna be fun, and you can even progress in those divisions and all of that.
Mhm.
There's also not so great stuff, like that Red Plus is gone, or
Yeah.
your uniques are basically useless. We have this problem. Us two have this problem, for example. We're gonna talk
Mhm.
about this later in detail. But there's but this of the old card is not a problem. Like, not at all. I completely understand that they have to sell the new in-season cards, because that's where the licensing fees are paid off and everything. And of
Mhm.
course, you have to buy those cards if you want to be big. And I also think people are looking at this completely the wrong way, in a way that people think prices are going to be super high at the beginning of the season and are going to drop massively over the turn of the season, because I
Yeah.
think if Sorare is not stupid, well, sometimes they're not stupid and they have good people working there. Um, as we spoke one time, I think on the pod, an idea actually we had, that you have
Mhm.
this transfer windows in the summer and the winter, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. M Pen mentioned that, right, on Sora Data.
exactly. So I think let's make a quick example.
Mhm.
You have 100 Haalands, right? Let's
Yeah.
say 90 of them get minted over the season. Yes. So
Okay.
we have
Yeah.
45. I think we have 40 or 45 Haalands minted by auction from Sora.
Mhm.
And I strongly believe, like, for real, that from these 45 Haalands, at least 30 are going to be minted in the first 2 weeks of the season of the new cards.
Yeah.
Which
I agree with you.
then,
If not all of them.
if maybe not even all of them, except the reward pool, except the
Right.
reward
Yeah, yeah.
pool.
Every Haaland that's issued to be auctioned, I think there's a strong possibility that, yeah, it all goes, or
And
all
that,
gets given out at the start of the season, because otherwise, how can you like play this tournament? How can you play the in season without there
exactly,
being X amount of Haalands? It doesn't make sense.
exactly, exactly. I
But
think it's not
you-
going to be all, but I think 80%. But I agree 100% with you. You have to
yeah,
give a big supply at the beginning, especially not you're creating bubbles and hypes. And
okay.
plus, the good thing is that people will say, then our cards are even less worth because then when we win a Haaland in the first beginning of the season, we could have at least told him for a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But imagine that. People need to think one step ahead. If there's no one on auction, the Haaland you actually win is sellable.
Because there's no
You don't-
competition.
And you don't have a competition against the auction. And that's the key point. And
right. Okay. You're not. Yeah. You're not. So then at that point, the secondary market would be its own. I know it's its own thing now, but as far as pricing that Haaland would go, it all depends on what someone's willing to let it go for. Yeah. Because if there's no
Exactly.
auction to go off, obviously you go off the last sale, secondary wise, of course. But if there's none up, you choose the price at the end of the day.
Brother, best example is Kylian Mbappe rare. Until he had no mints coming from new auctions, this price, people who had him could have done whatever they wanted with him, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
And now they have a new influx of cards. Now they can't do it anymore. He has a new market price in a way. So that's if they do that correctly, this could be very beneficiary to the secondary market. And people don't even understand that you actually can sell your cards with ease or easier than it is.
Before the start of the season. Like
exactly.
during the season.
In season.
That's a good point. So that comes back to the transfer window thing, like you just said. Sorare would make all their money at the start of the season in August, maybe, or not all of it, but the majority of their money through auctions. And then throughout the season, they're picking up, big secondary market fees potentially on loads of transactions because there's just not many auctions happening.
Exactly. I think that would be the perfect and the best and the most intelligent way to go to. And then you let the market be the market, and you're not a market maker anymore. Basically, I think if I would, that would be very intelligent in my opinion. But just talking about that, and sorry, I lost it for 1 second. What did I want to talk about?
Haaland, mints, supply. He's lost his train of thought.
Yeah, I've lost the train of thought, but that's not bad. The thing is, secondary market. Yeah, and I got it back. This new update, this new complete era of Sorare, basically falls or sinks, rises or falls with the ability to sell those new in-season cards. If they're not sellable, Sorare as a product has failed. Because then there's really no reason to play those classic comps, buy new cards, or even new cards for the season and then play them next season in classic. Only if they really get the market going on that side, then they achieved what they are trying to achieve, and that's where it all falls. And if that doesn't work, they probably need another update if they can afford another update. And yeah. But selling now, brother, you get like 20 cents on the dollar, basically,
What with bots? Is that what's happening with gallery buys?
No, I think gallery buys is like some are really panicking. Like Pavel bought some stuff for so cheap, unbelievable.
Some of the deals Pavel is getting right now and the bots is actually wild. The amount of people that are like offloading their super rares, okay, I understand they might not want to play super anymore, and then they're going into rares, or the haircuts they're taking is actually
absolutely mental,
insane. But then that goes back to your point at the start, Feder. How do we value these cards now? Like,
yes,
they should. Is contender and challenger way less valuable than champion on paper? Yes.
So.
You don't think so. Well, but there's more money available in champions, so you have to say they are, surely.
But the thing is, in champions, there's also way more good teams.
Right. Like okay. Contender, well, but no.
Contender, you have River. In River, you have River.
You have like 20 leagues in contender.
Yeah, but you have River, Dynamo, and Celtic, basically. Yes.
There has to be more than that.
Who else?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of superbly great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Fair, but that's stat-wise. That doesn't mean every scorer.
No. I understand, but the contender prize pool has the same cash out pay, if you want to play the in-season one, as the Premier League one. So the first place is still gonna get £2,500. That's massive in rare. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's better than every. You would need to win Challenger Rare Plus twice to get that income, to get that RI. You know what I mean? because basically now what you win $500, and then you get the cards worth $750. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, but you're
So
getting that in hard cash though. Yeah.
you had got Heshbaz and
Yeah.
Challenger. Actually,
Hmm.
I don't understand why people with the Celtics decks are moaning so much. I understand that you can't win a Messi anymore and everything in the global star and everything. I understand
Yeah.
that, but like for them being a contender, that's actually perfect because they have not the only decks they really have to play against is River and Dynamo. And Dynamo at the moment is not what they used to be in a way, and
No.
and you're losing a lot of stacks. You're losing the Benfica stacks, you're losing the Sporting stacks, you're losing the Porto stacks, you're losing the Feyenoord stacks, you're losing the Ajax stacks, you're using the PSV stacks. You're competing against. That's huge. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, fair enough. To be fair, I don't even think the Celtic boys were moaning that much, at all. Actually, like just looking back, I think they were just it was maybe the more like not being able to win a Messi thing. But once we see these prize pools, fella, this is what I'm more in the camp of. Is like because we don't see them right now. I know there's like graphics and whatever, but they're not in the game week next week. Like because we can't see them and they're not like tangible, even though you could argue they're not tangible on a screen, but. What I'm getting at is like until it's in front of us, until these prize pools are there, until we see, classic challenger or, in season challenger, 2,000, 50,000, all these numbers, it doesn't feel real, until we actually can see it. And we're like, okay, let me throw my, my Zenit team or my Celtic stack into here. I've got a good chance this weekend. They're at home to whoever. Like until it's in front of us, I think it's really hard to just even conceptualize in your head how it's going to really look and feel. Like like you said, the new in-season Premier League comp's a good gauge of that. We've seen card prices absolutely rocket in season wise. And do you think that's justified, or do you think the discrepancy now between like an old season Rodri was going for like £600 and now the new season's going for like 1,200? It's literally doubled.
No, I think that's justified, to be honest, because it's crazy what cash prizes you can win in this competition, and now it's open. No, you don't have a cap of 270 anymore, so you could play Salah. You can play Haaland, De Bruyne, Rodri, whoever you want to play in defense.
Trippier,
Trippier and Alisson. You can do that. I wouldn't recommend that, but it's crazy. And if you win it once, you get £2,500. Like there's
$3,000.
Yeah, $3,000. That's a lot of money, man. Like that's 1.5 ETH. Like even if you win Global All Star Plus, you don't get 1.5 ETH. You know what I mean? And
but that'll be happening, Feder, in every in-season comp. Yeah,
I know. Basically. That's gonna be great, and that's why people are just moaning, and that's actually great. And that's what I say. If you actually love the game and understand the game, I think you can do better ROI than you're doing at the moment, to be honest.
Right, but the issue everyone's facing is getting out of the cards they might not see fit for their gallery now and moving them into cards that they want to get into without taking massive haircuts and taking.
Yeah, but there's gonna be having these hits. Either you keep them, and you try to win stuff, and then buy those stuff, the other things with the other one. But
it's a long time away, Feder. This is one thing I like to point out.
It isn't though. March.
6 months. Okay, March is, but we're still going to have All-Star and stuff between March and August. Like we still have, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's only so many. We still have thresholds until August.
But that isn't that even better? Because then if you have a half Celtic stack, half River stack, whatever,
okay,
that would work. If you have a half River stack and a half MLS stack, just play it in All-Star until August. Don't sell it now for peanuts. And
no, but the issue is, okay, let me. I mean, is that an issue?
Go.
So
go
as we get closer into the season, obviously those card prices are going to come down eventually. Because utility comes down with River cards. They've just started their season, whatever. Like, that my kind of issue is it's hard to sell bits now because you've still got to play the game that's in front of you right now. And the cards that you might want to sell now and then swap later
for sure
are useful now, So I think you've got to weigh up the opportunity cost. Yeah. What is it going to cost you as far as like rewards in the short term to have like a gallery reconstruction in the long term, for your benefit? Like, you know what I'm saying? For example, myself now, Cap 240 Super Rare. Okay, yeah, the money's gone down there and that's fine, whatever. But as far as the players I own, a couple of those cards I have are like only useful in 240. So do I just, keep going until the wheels fall off and just keep playing it
But
with those
players,
cards? But the issue is when in August, when Cap 240 completely goes, what happens to those cards? Am I not stuck with them, but are they to a point where like they're literally worth nothing? So what I've got to weigh up is, can I win an X amount of dollars now to override that, to kind of supplement
but
it?
I understand what you mean, but I don't think they're going to be worthless because I actually think
Not worthless, but you know what I'm saying, just
those.
less valuable.
I think these are the teams that are going to rock Division 4, Division 4, Division 5, and Division 4 because
Okay.
you need those players. You can't have like 99.9% of the players can't have 3 rotary rares and play them all in Division 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? And probably
No,
he has
not
a
99%,
rotary.
but people can.
Yeah, people can, but yes, you get
Not
me. So
everyone will, of course. Yeah.
probably you have a Rodri, you have a Bruno Guimaraes, and you have a Dani Olmo. You will play the Rodri in Division 1, you will play the Bruno in Division 3, and in Dani Olmo Division 5, not because he's a worse player, but because he's not as consistent as the other two. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and so Dani Olmo still has a value, and he's gonna play in those divisions and win new stuff. And also these reward boxes, I hope they make them good, because if they make them good, they could be a huge catch, and also a good lock-in effect to the game. And yeah, I think these cards are still gonna be usable. Of course, like there is cards that are not gonna be usable anymore, but these have to get some usage out of these special weeklies. And again, as I said before, new cards have to be sellable. That's a rise or fall thing of Sorare, of the new cards of the new system. And also these new special weeklies have to be bloody amazing, so that
Right.
these
That's a
other
big one.
cards,
Yeah.
exactly, these other cards actually have a retained value. Maybe something like that could be seriously like we get more like the old style competitions. You have to play one player with an L15 over 60, and one player has to have a L15 over 35, even if
Specialist.
not
Yeah.
not even a cap, but you know what I mean. And
Right. Okay.
in together you have only a cap of 280, and
Yeah.
and that's how you give those cards value and when they will be valuable. So I wouldn't really. There will be some game weeks where your card's gonna have some value, and where
Right.
you're gonna be glad that you kept them or not. Because selling a rare now for £12 instead of what it used to be 30, for example, that sounds too harsh for me. I would keep him, and even if he's gonna fall to £6. In general, he could go up again to 30 in this one general game week and then sell it there.
Right. Yeah. You're saying
No,
he could
you know what I
spike up on a game week where there's a special weekly
Exactly.
and you need an L15 of whatever. And yeah,
Exactly.
the issue is I think people have is, that card that you just spoke about there, he was a Cap 240 card, okay? And
He is, yeah.
his
Yes.
job was to help you, win that $50 a week, let's say.
Yes.
Now, the actual path to cash or path to reward with that specific card we've just spoken about, without naming the name of the card because we've just made it up, it just becomes a bit more blurred, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? The path to that $50, is just a lot harder on, in theory, it has to be, because, you can't play 240 with him anymore, or you won't be able to.
I agree with you. Of course, it's not optimal, but I 1000% understand it and I agree with everybody. And I have huge problems with this update as well. But
let's get on to the problems then. Come on.
This one of the biggest problems is this is the biggest nonsense I ever heard in my life. Is that that you're gonna be happy? They emphasized it like 5 times. You're gonna be happy if your freaking player's gonna move up the division.
Yeah.
This is still utter bollocks in a way, because if Verman goes to Crystal Palace, he would have moved up, so you should be happy, but you're still not, because he's gonna have an L15 of 35 instead of 70. You know what I mean?
But that Feder, that is an opinion of a company filled with people realistically that don't play the game. in a
Yeah, that's
way,
the problem.
you know,
That's the
that
problem. That's the
that is
problem.
the
They
problem.
don't play the freaking game. They don't play their own game. That's the problem.
That's a big one. I think, yeah, they really were banging the drum on that one. Yeah, you're going to be buzzing
Yeah.
now when your player goes from
Man, I'm
challenger
still not buzzing.
to
I'm
champs. No,
still
I'm
not
probably
buzzing.
not, mate. I'm not. The only scenario where that works, Feder, is like goalkeepers, maybe.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like
Goalkeepers.
if a second division Bundesliga team gets promoted, St. Pauli, Vasilj, maybe he goes to Bundesliga. Okay, they might not be the best team in the Bundesliga, but at least you have a champion goalie for next year. You know,
Yeah, but that only concludes.
that's
with
the
goals.
only thing, right? Like
Only
it
one.
doesn't. Yeah.
Or
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
And Grimaldo.
and Grimaldo. But Grimaldo was the same. Was yeah, okay, except
Nah,
for
he has
Grimaldo.
got a bit better. He has got a bit
Yeah.
better.
Is there anybody else except Grimaldo that did something like that?
Not
Like, for
really,
real?
not that I can think of. Lads in the chat, let us know, and I'll put them on screen if we can, if you've got good examples. But yeah, I think it just applies for goalkeepers personally.
Yeah, I think so as well, because goalies, either you keep the clean sheet or not, and
Right.
and yeah, I'm still not happy that my team's gonna get up or up. It's going up, and I'd rather be happy that they get relegated at some points. To be honest, you know, and for example, that's part of my strategy. I hope Cadiz is gonna get relegated, and I have one more contender Super goalie with Ledesma, because he's not gonna help me win anything in champion. You know what I mean?
I'm just checking out your gallery here. So I'm just looking at your champ situation, right? So you are quite lucky in the sense that you do have quite a lot of new season champ cards, yeah? Like
Yeah,
both your
but
goalkeepers are champ, new season.
yeah, I'm gonna play the champ in season because I
You're
also
gonna
have
have to,
Tijani.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and
gonna
I
have
also
to.
have Tijani and Malik, who are both gonna
Okay.
play. So and then
Yeah.
I can play NATO or whoever I want, even the older ones. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
play that for sure. I'm also gonna play the in-season Champion Europe with the new cards, with Darami and Upamecano and whatever the name is. Yes. But I have, like, for example, a big problem I have Maffeo, because I wanted to use him in kickoff. He's gonna get
Right.
traded away, most likely. Also, I'm already talking to some friends of mine who play mainly unique, and that they want to get rid of some super rare. So probably gonna trade it.
Can Bambi take my Zaydu unique, please?
Yeah. I can ask
Will,
him if you
can
want.
you ask him for me? I asked Basil,
Yeah,
but he hasn't got back to me yet. So if you don't
yeah, I
mind
can
asking
ask him.
Bambi
But
for me,
he's not
please.
doing anything before March, anyways.
Right, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. That's fine.
So
Okay.
yes, I'm trading most likely my Thiago Martins unique and my Pablo Maffeo unique away for
Yeah.
some super rares I might use better. That's one part of my strategy. Vidrix asked that, so I'm gonna have that. But we come to that later. But for example, Rusnak, because since we're already at the uniques, Rusnak I'm gonna keep because I plan to play him in All-Star Global
Okay.
until August, basically, in Super
So
Rare.
do
Because
we know if we can play uniques in?
yes, apparently yes.
So between March and August, we can play uniques in Super Rare
Yes.
divisions, and they have bonus.
Only the All-Star.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Only in
Okay.
the All-Star one. So you could actually play your Zaydu in the All-Star one.
Right.
That's actually not a bad idea, to be honest. Until August, and then see where it
Or
goes.
well, I could play him in
Maybe
under
go support
23 until July.
or to July, exactly.
Like, so I could play my Zaydu in Super Rare under 23 until July. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's what I've heard and understood from the feedback and from the people I talked to. And also in under 23, it should still count as it is right now. That's why I'm also keeping my Rusnak, so I can playing in All-Star until All-Star is basically gone.
That makes sense. Yeah. Just catching up on the chat then for 2 minutes, Feder. Charlie says, I get that point, but if anyone goes to Prem, La Liga, or Bundes, they will boom, even if their scores aren't that good.
No, they won't. They won't, brother. Sorry.
Charlie, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, mate. Genuinely now. I can't see how that makes sense, personally.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's me and my use. But my strategy is I'm gonna probably, if Pedro Neto is gonna move in the summer to a club where he's not sure to be a starter, I need another striker champion Europe to play the classic comp. Okay,
No,
until
to
I
play
play
the
the
in-season
classic
comp, no?
No, in summer. Like
Right.
I'm already planning next season, basically. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
This season, I will play the classic comp in season Europe with Kuhn, Chow, and Reinders. That's the 3 new in season cards, and then I can
Uh-huh.
fulfill it with whoever I want, basically.
So do we only need
Um,
3 new season for Super Rare?
for Super Rare, you only need 3 new seasons.
Ah, okay. I was thinking it was 4.
Now you need only 3 new seasons, basically, for Super Rare.
Okay, that changes things for me. I genuinely thought it was 4. That's stupid of me, but okay. Yeah, keep going, Feder. Sorry.
So so it's 3. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
do that for sure, and then I'm gonna play the in-season Champion Europe until August. And after that, I'm gonna just stay for the classics and win cards. I'm probably not gonna sell them. Just try to win to play in season. Then at a certain point in time,
Mhm.
that's gonna be my goal. And for the Super Rares in Champion Europe, because let's move down by division basically. In Champion
Yeah.
Europe, my plan is basically the Deshma. I would love if he goes down, so I have one more contender goalie because I need contender
Yeah.
goalies.
Clever.
Yes.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I have one more contender goalie. I need contender goalies. I wouldn't need the Deshma either. If he doesn't go down, I probably trade him away or sell him or whatever because he doesn't make any sense for me because I don't have as many Super Rares in Champion Europe that I can play 2 classical in Super Rare lineups. But I have like 40 Super Rares and contender, so I need Super Rares, Super Rare
You need
goalies in
goalkeepers basically. Yeah.
yeah, I need goalkeepers and contender. So I would
So you don't
love.
have you don't have an Armani Super, no?
I have not an Armani Super. I'm gonna buy an Armani Super though. He is
Oh yeah.
gonna be bought for sure.
Yeah.
Like, but
Okay.
we talk about this when we come to contender. In challenger, basically the only thing I'm pretty happy with, to be honest, the only thing, and to play the classics. I'm just playing classics, planning for classics, and then building upon those classics to in
From
season.
March onwards, yeah.
Yeah, from March onwards, basically.
Okay.
Um, so in the challenger one, I'm actually pretty happy with what I got and who I got. The only thing is, I would love. Oh, Harry's gone. Are you still there?
Lost. Not sure what
Oh,
happened there.
something happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we still live, lads? Let us know.
Hopefully.
Have a look. Let me have a look on my phone. We should be still live. Yeah, it says we are, to be fair. So I'm going to assume we are still live. Feder. Yeah, go on. Sorry. So back to Challenger.
So back to challenger. Basically, the thing I analyze my gallery. The thing I need more than now than ever before, basically, is I need another super MLS goalie because I have so many MLS super rares that I can play. So I can basically line up 3 classic in-season super rares. I'm not talking about rares because the rares I have
Well, yeah,
enough.
fair. Wait, classic or in season? You just said both in the same then. You mean 3
Classic,
classic, yeah?
so that I can play 3 classic super lineups
Okay.
in Challenger basically,
So
and
you
so
have Blake and you have Stuver.
Stuve, and
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy Stefan Fry in Super Rare
Okay.
basically, so I
Yeah.
can have another third one. And optimal case, if I win something big, I would love to buy a super rare Brazilian goalie. I don't care who, either Rossi or Weverton or the guy from Mineiro, whatever his name is. I always forget that name.
Hmm.
So that would be a plan. And now we come to my biggest problem in my gallery because it's also where my best cards are basically,
Go
and
on.
that's the contender one. If you don't count
Yeah.
my MLS cards. And the contender ones, I just have one freaking super rare goalie, but you see how many
Mm,
defenders, midfielders, and forwards I have basically.
right. Yeah.
So I need super rare contender goalies. That's basically what I need in my gallery now.
Hmm.
And I need an Armani so that I can play it when Mexico and River is live basically. And I need for next season, but I'm probably gonna buy the in-season one or the off-season. I don't know yet, but I'm probably wait and see who's gonna be the new Zagreb goalie and gonna buy him as well. So I have then 3 contender goalies with Larsonneur. If they don't go up, if they go up, they are in the champion. That would be fine as well. I have the full stack, then I just play the full stack. But if they go up, I don't think they're going up. But So I need three. I need three contender super rares at any given moment because I have so many good cards there, and it would be wasted if I can't use them, or if I use them as a rare, which I think is the
Right.
worst.
Or you sell them.
Yeah, but I don't know who. The problem is I don't want to sell my anything at the moment because at the moment I rather not sell at the moment, to be honest, because it's
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
crazy what people what people want or
Mhm.
or offer you, and those were collected and with lots of heart and blood and tears, and not gonna give them away like that. I'd rather play them, and I have no problem buying just basically the thing is I need super rare goalies. That's it, and they're not as expensive anymore. So I'm not really panicking in a way.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
Like
right now they don't feel that expensive.
Stefan
Like,
Fry I can get for £600. Like, no disrespect, like that used to be 4K once.
is that what he's going for?
Yes.
Wow, yeah, Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not panicking at all. I have my Champion Europe Super S. Anyways, I
Mhm.
need to buy it. The only one I really need to buy if Meto moves somewhere where he's not a certain starter is a Super S striker, and then I can always play them in Classic with my brothers. Yeah.
I'm
For
just looking
example,
at Charlie's message here, Fed, on the whole champion thing. If you look at Thiago, someone who's a top challenger forward, announced to Brentford and the market, even though not a huge increase, but has reacted positively. I mean,
I don't think that's. I think that was before him. I think that's him. Actually, I think he's gone down since, right?
well, I mean, it looks quite similar, no? 30. This
Yeah,
is
but
in
I
the
wouldn't.
last week. 30 quid. But would you be
Oh,
able to
he's
use that? Could you use that new in-season Bruges card in the Premier League one?
yes
Wait, wait.
until
When is he going there? Is he going now?
no, he's going in summer, so that's
Ah, okay,
no
okay, okay, okay,
point.
okay. It doesn't matter. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I
But
mean,
if
I'd argue there's not much of an increase if we're being honest, if any, right?
yes, exactly. But by the question you asked, basically, let's say let's say Emil Forsberg goes to Red Bull, is gone to Red Bull New York, yes,
Yeah.
and you would have the in-season Emil Forsberg at the moment.
Okay.
He would be in season until the new Bundesliga cards come out, basically.
Got you. So his Leipzig in-season card now. So this card here,
Yeah,
you could
would
use
be
that
in
in the
yes in the
right,
in-season
but
MLS until
oh,
August.
oh, really? Even though he'll have his own MLS version.
Yes, basically what I heard is you have 1 year of in-season, basically. From the point on you got from the first minted one. So the last minted one doesn't have a year. Like if the first minted is in September and the next mint is September 25, then until in this time period you will have the in-season bonus.
Because I thought it was something like you lose the bonus as soon as the new in-season card comes out or something. No,
No,
I don't.
I think you are going to lose it for half the season, but the other half of the season, it's still viable. And
Wow, look at this. Jonathan got a contender Super A goalie for 450.
who did you get?
Jesus. Who did you get, Jonathan, if you don't mind us asking? Yeah, Feder. Charlie says you are right, Feder. He tested it the other day. Fair play. Oh, he's got Isfran? Isfran? Is that the Gimnasia keeper? I'm guessing. Yeah, 3 hours ago. 1 of 10 as well.
What's the scores here? Not bad as well. The
Good
scores.
scores. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, people are crazy at the moment. You can get. Unfortunately, I have no money and at the moment, and won't have any money soon until.
0.2 Feder. Jesus
Yeah, it's
Christ.
crazy. That's why I'm not panicking in a way. Anyways, our galleries, the value we have on paper is not true. I made peace with that a long time ago. So just at the moment playing for what it is and trying to enjoy the game more, and hopefully, like looking at the gallery value only has sense if you are planning to sell or trade your gallery away in the next couple of months or years or whatever. And I have no intention of doing that, to be honest.
That's
So
fair enough.
but
This
it's
is
crazy.
interesting.
That's why I'm not
Go
so
on.
panicking, because you get freaking Stefan Fry for £600. You know what I mean?
Right, but isn't that like a panic in itself? As in, like, shouldn't you think, why is he £600 or no?
Yeah, it is, because people are absolutely panicking at the moment, and
Okay.
I think personally you can do a lot of damage with this in-season competitions, Super as well included, and Super as if you didn't play Champion Europe or Global ASA, you only had Eve on the podiums anyways, and
Right.
the podium stays, and the podium Eve stays, so that's not a biggie, no?
Mm-hmm. Your gamer says here, to be fair, I played 240 rare and second division fully. He now needs to regress and go for something like Champion Limited and get players like Griezmann in. I think this is something that I kind of mentioned
But
on.
why? But Joe,
Go on.
sorry, why do you need to regress if your
I
second
mean,
division fully is good? If it's a good team, I
because
wouldn't have
he
said
has
that.
to now play against your Rivers, your Celtics, your this, your that, right? Or from
Yeah,
March onwards, you will.
but second division is capable of
It
competing
is,
with them.
yeah. Your gamer. I'd be interested to see who are those second division players. Like, are they Southampton
Yeah.
players, etc., etc. Mikey says, "Don't you think that's boring though, your gamer, having to follow the crowd rather than plow your own path?" I mean, yeah, it's a good point, Mike. I do kind of,
By the
I
way,
get, I get that.
by the
Go
way,
on.
Southampton is a challenger, not a contender.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, it is, but it would be second division now, wouldn't it? If you know what I mean.
Yes, they are second division now.
So it depends. Yeah, it depends what that, how that works. But yeah, I mean, I get what your gamer's like said he's done there. I understand it because I
Yeah,
kind of explain it as like a bridge scarcity. If you're like if you're like a limited player and you have like under 20 rares, let's say, and you are playing 240 rare, I think a lot of people are just going to completely sell those 20 rares and go back down to limited fully, Even
but
though you can use those rares at limited now because you can play down a scarcity,
yeah,
but I don't think they would be that competitive as far as those 20 rares were cap players, right? Let's just say that.
but
They're
you
not
don't
going to
have to
really
play.
compete.
But in Division 1 limited, I don't want to look. I don't want to know what teams are going to be there. Like 200 times the same team. So just play him in Division
Right.
5 anyways. You know what I mean?
I
And
do, but think about this, Feder. Those 20 rare cards were yielding capped money, They were yielding $50 a week
but
most
he
of the
can
time, let's
still
say.
do that, no? Like
No,
he
well,
can
not with
still
those
do.
20 rares. I
Yeah,
mean,
he can.
he can do it until August, right? Fair enough. But after that, those 20 rares, what happens to them realistically? Yeah, you can play them
But
down into limited, but you can't yield $50 a week. I'm not saying this guy was yielding $50 every single week, but even to just get the chance to yield $50, you know what I mean?
no, I understand. But let's make a small, quick math in the head. Let's say you have 6 game weeks. Yes, how
Okay.
many times an average player would have reached the threshold? What do you think?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, let's say 2.
Maybe.
That's
Let's say 2.
£100, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How many times you think he would reach this new? How much do you need for 380 points? 350, 320 in rare, right?
It is in rare
It's
3.
320, right? How many times do you think of those
340,
times?
I think. 320? 320 or
320.
340?
320 for $80. That's not bad. Um, how many times do you think he will actually score 320? 320, which it is in this
It is,
6 game.
sorry. Yeah.
I think
How many
as well
times?
6 times.
I mean, if we're only saying he's going to reach 280 points twice, there's no way he reaches 340 for me.
But I think when he
Maybe
reached those,
once. Maybe.
I think when he reached those 280s, I think
Yeah.
he reached them. Most people reach them in most of the cases a lot higher than 280. At least that's
I
what I
wouldn't say
looked
a
on.
lot higher. Yeah. I'd
I
say
looked at
300 plus, maybe.
I looked at the last 6 months basically.
Uh-huh.
Either I fricked it up with 240, 50, or I
Yeah.
did 380, 370,
Right.
360. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get
So
that.
I think you have to, like, if you win 4 thresholds now with the £80, that's 200. That's £320. You would have needed 6.5 of the old ones. I think it's actually easier for most galleries to reach those 4 80s I understand that sometimes you're gonna get frustrated, but ROI wise, I think it's gonna be easier to reach those 480s than 6 times the 50s, 6.5
I
times the
agree with
50s.
you. Yeah, I
You
agree
know
with you.
what I
Like
mean?
I'm going to be playing for the 340 a lot more than I am the 270 in
No, I'm
rare.
not gonna play for the 270. I'm gonna just play for the 340.
Same,
Fuck the
because
270. You know what I
80
mean?
bucks, yeah, 80
Yeah,
bucks for that, or 15 bucks to hit
yeah,
270. I think I've got better chance of hitting the 340 once than I do hitting the 270 like 5-6 times in a row, you know?
exactly. And I think he can still do that until August. And I think it's a decent ROI
Until
over there.
August, definitely. Yeah, that person
And
could.
it's super rare. How much is a super rare? It's like 400 for 320 or what? Or 390
Yeah,
for 320.
I'll have a look now. Let me just put in a random team. It's something like, let's have a look. It is, I'm just getting on the screen now. So they're the targets now. So 320, 400, 460.
Okay. That sounds harder to me than the 340 from the
Right. It's going to sound harder though, but we do have the 20% on everyone. You got a thing. So
320 is the other one, right? 320 is the rare. 320, yes. I think it's
no, 340, 340.
340, yes, but still
Yeah.
That's doable.
I mean, it is
No,
doable as long as you have
I'm
like
not,
L15 of like 20 and stuff, and you know he's going to smash type of thing. You
don't get
need
me
those
wrong.
situations.
I think this transition is one of the periods of the bad things what Sorare did, to be honest. I think they should have just left the threshold until August how it is at the moment.
There shouldn't be targets, in my opinion. There should just be, if you hit it, then fucking great, you deserve that money. Because not many people will be hitting over 390 points in in Cap 240 rare. I can guarantee that. Obviously, some will, but I just don't. I get why they haven't done it, because obviously it's going to cost them a lot more money. They're not stupid, but I don't know. I think that was a bit of a sour one for me. I think ripping away the threshold that quickly in the format it was, I think that was a little bit quick.
Yeah, I think they should have, just for the old community, for the sake of the old community. Anyways, they should have said if you signed up after, you shouldn't be able or whatever. But until August, I think they should have left that, or at least give it out in credits, so that people can just keep them in credits and then buy the new in-season cards, basically. But
yeah.
I think that was a bit harsh as well. I think that's one other negative I would say that they should have done better, in my opinion.
Catching up on the chat here then. Charlie says, people feel the need now to have a foot in the door in the champ region. Completely not the case.
That's what I'm
saying. The
saying.
game can still be profitable and fun at contenders. I agree. But the issue is with that, Charles, I think it's amplified right now because of the Prem comp, you know? I really think that the rush has started earlier for champ players, i.e., and more specifically Prem, because of the obvious reason. So no, I completely get what Charles saying there. For sure. Just catching up again. Yo says, I got some players, Druez and Klusha. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. But Jonathan says, yeah, think about it in D1. If you hit, say, 460 points and have someone in D2 that hits 490, you end up getting a better reward. Right. Well, the person in D1 is going to get a better reward, no? It depends where they finish.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really.
That's gonna be interesting as well. I just need to feel it, and I think then everybody will calm down a bit. To be honest,
that's the thing. We can't feel it yet. Is exactly what I'm getting onto. And the issue is, I know you're saying it's not that far away, but August is far away. March isn't far away, if we're being honest.
August is far away. I agree.
It is.
But
it is.
See it positive. You can play August, and you can play the Global All Star until August. As you said, that's far away, brother. It's still a lot of lineups to be played.
So this is Yo Gamers. He was getting threshold every 1 to 2 / 1 to 3 times, and then he got 340 once. So under the new rules, he would be better off aiming for 340 every time still, because 340 in
agree as well.
Rare is $80. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still better for him to play the 341.
To play the 340.
I think now until August. I think this is until August, right? This new
August. Yeah, August it goes.
Until August, I think these crazy guys that have super low L15 could be hugely immense for your caps, basically. How's the threshold in limited? What do you need to reach
It's
for 10 club
it's
for Denver?
for the $25. I actually, I did it earlier on my road to glory, which I'm gonna release tomorrow morning because I've done too many videos today. But so what is it? It's $2 for 270 points, and then
Yeah.
it's and then it's $8 for 340 points. I think it's the same as. Let me check.
By the way,
It is.
brother,
Look,
like
340. Sorry, I didn't have it on screen. 340 for $8, and then it's $25 you get if you hit 390.
by the way,
I'm going
this
340, baby.
people, yeah,
Cool.
for sure. People just a lot of people I heard, for example, are saying collections are worth nothing and everything. That's just not true. Way they're not. They're worth the same as before because you still can play these advantage in classic, and you're still gonna get the jerseys and whatever. And until then, the cap mode, that's what I said. That's where you see where the problem lied the most. Basically, people were just using collections to collect easier thresholds, nothing else, basically. But or at
Right,
least a
yeah.
lot of them. But those guys who do have this season's collections now could be huge ROI wise because they are targeting those 340 points in rare or in the 400 points in super way easier than the others. I know friends of mine who have already 16% on some of their players of this season. You know what I mean?
Have a
So
look at
in
this.
rare,
So
you know what I
obviously
mean?
we don't have the J League yet, but when J League comes back, Fed, I have an 18% Nishikawa, 16% Schultz. I know it's not all good fit in like it might not fit, right?
Yeah.
But these percentages are like ridiculous, as far as Cap 240 goes.
But
Santana would be 60. That might not. But let's say I had an L15 of 0 in there. I could play with these. The chances of me hitting 340 on like a good match day, good matchup, sorry, with a player, with these type of players, are quite very high realistically, right? So it's like, I think there is going to be a lot of.
exactly.
I'm going to argue that those players who are like L15 of 0,
Yeah.
week on week. There's an argument to say that those players are stupidly valuable right now under the new threshold because it's a free hit. You go L15 is 0 in one position in extra or whatever. You've literally got 60 average across the other 4 players. And then you aim for you don't even have to aim for the highest threshold. Just aim for the middle one. You're basically not guaranteed, but if the matchups are right, there's less chance of you not hitting it than hitting it. If things have got to go your way. Don't get me wrong. It's not like printing money, but you get what I'm saying.
The problem is still that I understand. I agree with you 1000%, but people still. Because what I heard, for example, when people were building their lineups and everything, before is that okay, this guy has an L15 of 50, so I can expect 50%. But what we have to understand is everybody starts with 35. He's just been so good in the last 15 games that you know what I mean? So
depends when they bring out those J League cards, by the way, Rob. If they bring them out, after the first game of the season, because I will add the first J League game for Uara is a midweek. It's actually next midweek or the weekend or the midweek after. I'd be shocked if they bring out the cards before then. And my point stands is I'll hopefully be able to have maybe one game week out of them.
MLS starts next weekend, right?
MLS is so what are we
next
now?
Weekend.
15th?
Yes, next weekend. So people
it
there
will
have
be. Yeah.
huge collections, and we will not have new MLS cards till next weekend for sure. Like I can bet Matthias Meluso unique on that.
That's worth nothing. I'm joking. No, it's a good point. It will be interesting to see. But
I'm gonna keep him.
I know. I was just thinking then, back to your point about like minting the 45 Haalands on the, at the start of the season.
Yes.
They need to be on it with the pictures though, Feder, because as we've seen, Sorare
but they are.
Bring out
they
new
are
cards
recently.
late. They have been better. Okay.
Recently, they have been on fire, brother. There's already new cards from Madsen at Dortmund. There's new cards from Cardona at Saint-Etienne. It's
because
crazy.
They need the money.
Boom.
They need the money.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nicholas needs to buy his jet, you know.
No, I don't think he's able to afford any jet at the moment. Like,
Peter says no MLS auctions right now, so hopefully quite soon. Yeah, I've heard that mentioned quite a few times actually. And Rob says in August they'll have to change the approach, otherwise start of the next Prem season will be no in season for a bit. Exactly that, Rob. They'll have to get something in place, won't they? For sure.
no, for sure, and I agree, and I think, as we said before, it's gonna be, if they're intelligent, please God, be intelligent. Like they're gonna mint 40 of the 45 Haalands in the first 2 weeks. It just makes the most sense, especially because that's when he has the highest price as well, so
Right.
they can get the most money for him as
Out of
well.
him. Yeah, as long as there's 45 potential buyers that wanting to buy him, you know, which there should be, I'd hope.
Exactly. I think they have like 1 million payout a year. I think it's a million payout a month, right? Something like that. And from that, I think 400,000 goes for the Prem, whatever, because of Champion Europe, and 200,000 Prem, basically, you know? So those 400,000 euros, multiply them with 12, that's 4.8 million. If they can make those 5 million in the first 2 weeks, they're already done. They already have the price for the whole year, basically. You know what I mean? And that's where they should aim for. And I understand that they have to give a more importance to those cards, and that those cards have to be sold better, because they pay so much more for the license fee of the Champion Europe ones than for the contender ones. They don't even pay for the Colombia one. Why should you be able to rep the freaking...
they give them out in cereal boxes, I think.
You know what I mean? They probably have a call and say, do you want to be on the platform? And they say, yeah, let's do it. They don't even have baby. They don't even a single... We don't have a single Colombian club, no? But we have the license.
No, we don't. You're right. Same as China. Yeah.
I think Brazil's gonna come for sure, to be honest.
Okay. Interesting.
If not, that would not make any sense to put them.
But that's like saying Denmark will come then, no?
Nah, I don't think Denmark is coming. But Denmark is, I don't, just up the rating with Copenhagen doing okay-ish.
Can we just give a couple of minutes to our boy Magnus Madsen, by the way, Feder?
Brother, he's a baller. He's a freaking baller. That's
how long have we been talking about this kid?
2.5 years. 2.5 years we have.
48 episodes in. I think we've probably mentioned him at least a quarter of those episodes, I think.
Yes.
And probably, definitely at the start.
He's a baller.
Start of when we started. Yeah.
He's gonna play for the Danish national team if he
keeps going.
If he keeps going like this in the Euros, for sure. Like, for sure, brother. He is that good.
Yeah, he is. He's really good.
Yeah, we should go to a game of Madsen, to be honest, in the Danish national team.
That would be cool.
We should actually do that, to be honest. We have to go to a Madsen game. I don't think there's any bigger super fans than Madsen than us two, brother, to be honest. For real.
But the problem is everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon now that he's at Copenhagen. Like, all the Danish people all know about him now. I mean, they would have known before, but...
But brother, I'm a bit sad in a way, because I think he would have been as good to join Eindhoven or Ajax at the end of the season.
He would have. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It is a weird one. It is a weird move. They must be paying him some crazy money.
It's a bit... I think it's just... You get good money, you play Champions League, you live in a freaking beautiful city. You live in
It is a beautiful city. I've been there. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's way nicer than to live in Nijmegen. No joke about you know what I mean? He's
baby.
Brother, he's the king of the castle, because he's playing for the most important Danish club as a Danish player. You know what I mean? So,
bro, he's just scored in the Champions League against Man City.
He's a baller.
He was playing against Volendam last week.
He's gonna have so much Swedish girls, Danish girls in Copenhagen. Can't even imagine, brother.
The kid's on fire, and I can't be happier for him. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Your gamer says, to be fair, as a Dutchman, I'm getting the same haircut as him. Love that guy. Yeah, I've been working on my mullet as well, actually, to be fair. I'm a Magnus Madsen mullet man now.
He's a rocket, man. That was a rocket against Edison.
Such a good finish, mate. To keep that down, oh my god.
Oh god.
So good.
And he's on sets, man. He's on sets.
He's a
I told you
big
he's on
card,
man.
mate. He's a big
He is a
card.
he is a special player, and we need to
He's really
stop
good.
talking about him. Thirdly, heading out, cut.
This is behind the paywall content.
And
We
yesterday,
need to,
yesterday was a
OnlyFans.
very behind the paywall OnlyFans for real, for real. If I think if he would have OnlyFans, we would subscribe to his OnlyFans.
The whole of Sorare will be soon.
Brother, yesterday was a hard day for me, to be honest, because Bayern Munich played and they lost against Lazio. And when freaking Tati came on, I was still freaking cheering for Tati. I was so crazy, you know.
You're a Bayern fan. You can't do that.
I love Tati to bits. I love this kid. I
know.
Him and Matson and Reinders. I felt so in love through Sorare. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's some real standouts like that, you know, from the years. And yeah, Matson's firmly in there for me. I know Tijani's in there for you. That's interesting. Sorare Scout says super.
I even have a Tati New York City shirt, brother. So you know
that is dedication.
Yeah.
0.3 super for Magnus Matson super right now. I mean, every super is value right now, bro. You can get like Declan Rice super rares for like 0.7. You know.
Man, I think McBride bought Virgil van Dijk for 1 ETH yesterday. So
anything's possible right now. There's so many good deals out there. But anyway, Feda, we've gone over an hour. I'm going to be live later as well, lads, for some lineup building if you want to check that out at 7. So we've got an hour till then. Sorare data are live right now, so I know you guys are going to pop over there, I assume. Feda, it's been an absolute pleasure. Episode 50 next episode, Feda. We need to think about something
big one.
Pretty cool for that. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, lads. Thank you for being here. And Feda, thank you obviously for joining me. And yeah, lads, we'll catch you next week.